I'm Tristan from Wheelworks, and today we're going to be talking about hooked versus hookless bead rims. So this is a traditional hooked bead, and it's old tech. These hooks were designed way back in the 1960s, in the transition from glued-on tubulars to modern clinchers, so that tires can be made from lighter, more supple materials to improve their ride feel. Almost every bike rim used hooked beads until the early 2000s, when mountain bike rim makers started removing the hooks and created hookless beads. Hookless mountain bike rims are now the norm and have proven to work really well, so we're starting to see that same tech move across to gravel and road bikes. So why hookless? What are the main reasons why hookless rims work so well? Well, the big pro is that they can be made with better impact resistance, something that's really important on mountain bikes, reasonably important on gravel bikes, and not especially important on road bikes. Our first-hand experience with our lifetime guaranteed flight carbon mountain bike rims demonstrates this, as we see so few impact failures on those rims. Additionally, there's the marketing angle that comes in with new and fancy tech. Hookless beads can save a small amount of weight on the rim, and they tend to be cheaper to manufacture. So why aren't all rims hookless? Well, this boils down to one thing: tires blowing off the rim at high pressure. This is a catastrophic failure and not something that you want to happen while you're just riding along. It's a factor that only applies to high-pressure road and gravel tires, and it isn't something that we see on mountain bikes, where the tire pressures are typically less than 30 psi. So it's obvious that tire blow-off can be mitigated by having a maximum pressure for the rim. Companies that do this tend to stipulate a very low maximum pressure, and this bit of info is often curiously left missing from the tech specs and often impossible to find on the manufacturer's website. There are a couple of companies who do this, and it's worth noting that all of their approved tires are tubeless, so inner tube fans are out of luck with these hookless wheels. But have you ever noticed that sometimes tires from the same brand and model go on easier to the rims than others? That indicates that there's still a lot of variance in tires due to how they're made. And this makes sense because tires are essentially stretchy fabric. So getting accurate dimensions is much harder than it is with a rim, where laying carbon fibers into a metal mold is going to give the same results every time. So what if we had an industry standard? A way of ensuring that tire A will fit on rim B and be safe to use? Well, luckily we've got an industry body called ETRTO, and these guys' sole purpose is, and I quote, alignment of national standards to achieve interchangeability of pneumatic tires, rims, and valves in Europe as far as fitting and use are concerned. ETRTO would specify, for example, the exact diameter of a rim where the tire sits, as well as the tire's diameter and tolerance, allowed amount of stretch, etc. This would mean that an ETRTO approved tire would fit onto an ETRTO approved rim, giving you the complete confidence that nothing is going to go wrong. You've probably seen those letters ETRTO on your tires, but that relates to the regular old hooked beads. I know that they're in the process of looking at hookless rims and tires, however this has been talked about for years now and progress has been really slow. As with all things tech, we're keeping an eye on our options, but until there is a universal safety standard, we're committed to having hooked beads on all of our higher pressure road and gravel rims. But what do you think? Do you think that the risk is low and that we should be thinking about hookless in future product designs?